And let's hit that start streaming button. Boom chakalaka, we are live. All right, hey guys, if you're joining me late today, I just want to kind of go over what Photoshop is versus Illustrator. Now, I've had a lot of questions about people saying stuff like they want to do some tutorials in Photoshop and Illustrator. However, my channel primarily focuses on Premiere Pro. I want to branch out. Since I use the entire Adobe suite, I think it's fair that I show you guys what all I'm capable of and show you some tips along the way. Hey, Dad. Nice. It's a good one. I always like reading guys' comments and stuff. Today, I don't have the live chat down here in the view. If you want me, what just happened? I closed. Nice. There we go. So, back at it. Apparently, I just found a secret Windows code that I didn't know existed. So, that was pretty cool. Hello from India. Hello, Kyler. What up, guys? Hey. Hi from Argentina. What's up, guys? How are you all doing? So, if you want me to put the chat in the live stream up here, let me know, and you know what? I'm just going to put that because you guys like reading your own comments and stuff. And we'll do that. Drag this guy down here. And we're just going to resize this little guy over here. Boom. Nope. We're going to scale it. And drag him down. Nice. So, here we go. Graphic designer, but I'm a graphic designer, but I'm going to watch this anyway just because I like you. Cram, what kind of stuff do you make? I love graphic design. It's honestly super nice and very effective. Let's drag this over here. Cool. Let's drag that up. Awesome. So this is kind of like not the best case scenario, but it'll do for the time being, just so you can see your guys' chat as well. So, awesome videos you make. Thanks. Thanks, guys, for checking it out. Hello, Kyle from UK. It's 2 a.m. there. Yeah, it's 9 p.m. here in Ohio. So, let's get into it. Basically, I've been seeing a lot of people ask me requests on how I create my overlays over my tutorial videos. And if you've seen any of my tutorial videos, they basically show you what to do. And at the top, there's this little tutorial thing, and it goes over what's on the tutorial. And like sometimes when I do sponsored overlays, it'll have the stuff here. Now, I created all of my overlays in Photoshop. However, whenever you create an overlay, you could honestly create it in Paint as long as the pixels are correct. Now, this brings up an important topic, why I wanted to bring up Illustrator as well. Because Illustrator, I gotta resize this, remind me later, there's a new version of Illustrator. Illustrator is very similar to Photoshop, however, it is vector-based. Are you using OBS or XSplit? If so, you could overlay the chat straight from, you can overlay the chat in OBS. Pause, guys. This is awesome. So yeah, I use OBS right here. Cram, if you could let me know how to do that, that would be great. It might be in like the settings or something. That would be cool. I'll have to check that out. Open stats dialog. Snap. Yeah, cool. So just let me know how to do that, and I'll try to update that for you guys. So back into the tutorial. As you guys can see, what I just said is Photoshop is pixel based and Illustrator is vector based. So that vector based meaning that there are no pixels in Illustrator. So you can zoom in on the text as far as you want and you'll never see a single pixel. The reason being why this is amazing is because if I wanted to, also this is just something I did for a class. This isn't actually what I would send Red Bull Media or whatever. But the reason why you would use this in Illustrator is that if you were to blow it up like really large and do big prints of it, you would lose no quality. However, if I go into Photoshop and then I zoom in all the way, you'll see that once we get to a certain point, it'll start to get a little jagged. This means that it's pixel based, so that if I blow this up onto a billboard, it will not hold its quality very well. However, since I like creating a lot of my overlays in Photoshop, it's okay as long as you keep the aspect ratio or pixel ratio of your screenshot or overlay, whatever you're doing, that matches your video, you will be fine. So most people aren't watching YouTube videos on a blown up screen, right? So if you guys want to know really quick how I do this little chat here, I'll show you. If not, then I'll just kind of open it up to questions and you guys can ask me anything. So hit the chat right now with some questions if you guys want to know how to do it or not. Let me know. Sorry, I thought someone was knocking. And I asked earlier on my YouTube community page, which I'm still kind of getting used to. It's kind of cool to communicate with you guys. As you can see right here, I asked, when creating an overlay with text, what software do you tend to use more? Pause for a second. Hey, what's up? Live streaming, so I kind of can't talk right now. Are you coming home? Yeah. All right, I'll see you in a bit. Bye. Alrighty, so we're back at it. So I asked, when creating an overlay with text, what software do you tend to use more? 11% said Adobe Illustrator and 89% said Adobe Photoshop. Granted, this was only 20 minutes ago, so there's only 35 votes. So that's kind of hit or miss. However, from knowing Adobe Illustrator, I would love to create this in Illustrator just because in case I wanted to blow it up at all. But honestly, you don't need to because you're not going to lose that quality. So we're going to create it in Photoshop. So in Photoshop, I'm just going to start from scratch. This is also how I create my thumbnails. And I have a thumbnail tutorial on here, I believe. So you want to first start off by importing an image from what you want to create an overlay for. For example, I could create a new overlay for my live stream if I wanted to. Oh gosh, that's live streamception. Wow. So how I would do that is basically, if I can't really show you without going live streamception, but I would screenshot this area right here in OBS because that will allow me to basically import it into Photoshop and start editing it. So what I'm going to do is get on here to the window, open area, and type in snippet or snipping. This will open up a snipping tool, and then I'm going to change the mode to a freeform snip, and then I'm simply going to go over. I'm going to change the mode to a rectangular snip, and I'm basically going to snip the entire area in OBS. So just drag that over there, and boom. So I created a little image, and this is the image that I grabbed. So we got to figure out what this Windows code is that's doing this, because every now and then Windows minimizes everything. So let's bring this back up, and then we got all of our documents. I'm really interested because I've never seen Windows do that. Okay, so now that I have this snip, I'm simply going to save that to my desktop so I can find it easier. Or actually the banner. Window. Yes. So one thing you want to keep in mind is what quality you are working with. So right now I'm going to be using 4K video, so that's 3840 by 2160. So I'm going to go to File, New, and then create a pixel-based width of 3840, and then a height of 2160. And then resolution, I'm going to bump that up to 300 so it has a nice pixels per inch resolution. So now that we have this, you can see that we have a white background. I'm simply going to click this little lock sign right here and then delete that background by clicking and, well, can't delete it. We're going to duplicate it first by clicking, or we're not going to duplicate it, but we're going to click this create a new layer button and then simply delete this layer 0 by dragging that to the trash can. So now we have a transparent layer to work with. We're going to go to our project folder, which I have a few little images that I already downloaded, and drag in that screenshot that we just took earlier. You'll notice that the resolution actually isn't the best right away, and it doesn't match perfectly because I had to use a screenshot. So for the sake of this tutorial, we're going to try to get it to as close as we can. Drag that over there. Drag that down there. And let's just scale this bad boy up a little bit until we get to the 4K screen. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. So something isn't matching right now in the snipping window with OBS, so this might be something that I actually have to scratch entirely, which is kind of a bummer, but that's alright. So luckily I have another screenshot that I have prepared for you guys, so I'm simply going to drag that in right now. Where is it at? Snipping tool. Awesome. Snipping tool, and then mode, change it to window snip, and snap that guy. Save him to the project, and then back into Photoshop and drag that in. So whenever you screenshot something, you can simply drag that in to Photoshop, and it'll match whatever size is that you're working with. So as you see, 3840 by 2100. So actually, my window is different. So working with this, all we have to do is start editing however we want to edit it. So in my live stream, most of my live stream things, I have an overlay. In my tutorials, I have this sick blur effect overlay right here. And we're going to simply start by this left-hand side and go down to this ellipse tool, long press it, and it'll bring up a rectangular tool. You can simply literally start dragging it however you want all over your image, and you'll start getting some different effects. So the rectangle tool drags a little box that you can color in with a fill. So I'm going to fill that in, and with any color of my preference. I like gray, so that's a fun little thing to do with that. Another cool thing that you can do is over here, this eyedropper tool. Click on the eyedropper, and you can select a color from anywhere on the map, and it'll put it down here. So then we know that the color code is 232323. Simply copy that color code, and then click on our rectangular tool. Change the color to one of the recently used colors. As you can see right there, we just use that one to select it. And then let's make this more prevalent or evident. So we're going to drag the line tool and hold shift and drag that all the way across, just like so. And we're going to make the stroke something noticeable and the stroke color something vibrant like so. So as you can see, we're starting to get a line, 10 pixel stroke. Let's make that thicker. And simply click Control T and drag that up. As you can see, it'll start to bring it in. And to zoom in, I used to do Control plus. That will zoom me in as well. Oh, we gotta make the shape layer. So with this, you can pretty much adjust the line however you want. I like to drag it to change the thickness and stuff. So I'll make it a little thick like that. Click enter, and then regular path. Yes, we're okay with that. So if you zoom out, we already have that banner that I like to create in a lot of my videos. And in a nutshell, you guys can pretty much get the idea of being able to adjust your screenshot. If you want to adjust it, click Control T and then hit the down arrow key to move it down as far as you want. Like sometimes I like to cut off the bottom little snippet so that I can have a higher header. So simply I would click both of these layers and scale those down a little bit, just like so, and make my bottom layer a little bit thinner. So right off the bat, Photoshop is fairly easy to work with. Now, if you guys have no idea how to do Photoshop or you're completely lost right now, let me know in the comments, because I'm going to be creating a Photoshop tutorial for you guys. Also, there's the comments. All right, let's read some. Hello from India. Hello from Brazil. What's up, guys? Hello, Kylie, UK. Virginia, Chile, Indonesia. What's up, guys? All right. It's going to be sort of hard to explain how to do it, so if you have time, I definitely have time. I'll watch a tutorial on that because that'd be awesome. You're the best. Thank you, guys. Awesome. So, again, we're just going to keep going on with this. So, I have an assets folder, and an assets folder is simply something that you have that has captured images or stuff that you're going to put into your project. And how I found these images was simply going to Google and typing in something that I want. So if it's, for example, Instagram logo PNG, always look up for a PNG and then go to images, because PNGs most of the time are transparent, so it does all the hard work for you. Now once you're here in the logo area, go to tools and then change the size to large. This way you get a super high quality. Now, to tell if it's transparent, you'll see that the background has these slow white and gray blocks. Notice how in here is solid white, so I don't really want that one. I want one that has full transparency, just like this. Or if you wanted to, you could get one like this. So maybe I'll try that one out. But for now, I'm just going to drag in my logo, and it's pretty large, so I'm going to scale that bad boy down and hold shift to constrain the proportions. So I'm going to hold that shift key, constrain that guy down like that. You can also hold alt on your keyboard to constrain the proportions and hold the center proportion as well. And then we're going to simply click enter, and then we're going to move in by holding control plus sign, and then hold space on your keyboard to drag around the image. And then we're going to simply adjust this and drag it to anywhere we like. Remember, keeping Control T to move it around wherever we want. So I like how that looks right there. And then from there, we're going to simply create a middle text area. Click the T over here, or T on your keyboard, and then simply click on this layer right here. We're going to name this YouTube. Also, if you can't see it, you just kind of have to zoom in a little bit, or your text is actually really small. What's up? Say hi to the stream. 300. So make it a little bit bigger so we can see what we're working with, and just type in YouTube. Also, you notice that we are not actually seeing it, which is interesting. That's because our text layer is a color that we can't see. So let's make this text layer white, and then now we will start to see it. Let's change our size down a little bit so we have something to work with. And then I like to do everything in all caps. So double click on our text layer and type in YouTube tutorial. Now the cool thing is about whenever you make a text layer, you can simply click on the text layer and then Control T, and then pretty much size this down to however you want. So we're going to size it up just like so. Click on it, and then we're going to basically click Control T again and hold Shift and slide it around till we get a purple line down the middle. This will tell you that it is exactly in the center. So moving on, let's add the Premiere logo right over here to the left side and drag it in right here. So the Premiere logo I downloaded earlier. It's an SVG, which is also compatible with Photoshop. So resize this down a little bit. Also, if you resize it too far, it'll actually flip the image and reverse it. So go over here, zoom in a little bit, drag over here, resize that, and voila. I like how that looks right there. So at first, we're already getting somewhere to creating a nice little effect. So another cool little thing that you guys can do is add your Instagram and Twitter logos. This is fairly simple. All you have to do is type in a text layer and type in your Instagram or Twitter handles, and resize it to be something small so that it's not intrusive, like so. And just like that. And then we're going to go over here in the area and simply right click and click on duplicate layer, and then Control T and drag that layer to the other side just so we have something to work with. And then the cool thing about Photoshop is you can click on any layer, and then you can also click on another layer by holding Control and then Control T. You can pretty much move both of those layers at the same time if you desire. So going back to my assets folder, I'm going to drag my Instagram PNG. So as you see, I picked one that doesn't have the white in the center, and I actually don't like that. So I'm simply going to delete that layer, go to Google, and type in Instagram PNG logo. So we're going to click on this first guy, see what he's got. Nice. So that would be great. Download that guy, and then go back over here. Drag that into our project, and now we have one without a transparent center. So I'm just going to drag this to the left, and a cool thing to do is come in here nice and close and make sure that this is center with our actual thing. Going to scale that down, and remember, hold Alt and Shift to constrain the proportions. Alt basically makes it so that it goes to the center, so it doesn't move. So I like how that looks. And then I'm going to go over to the right side, drag in the Twitter logo, scale that down. Sometimes I like to actually bring the other logo that I'm bringing in and match it up with the logo that I just resized so that they are similar in size. Go right here, and we're going to put this towards the outside, just like so. And voila. We have the basics of how I create my YouTube overlays. So for now, I'm just going to kind of open it up and talk to you guys for a little bit before I close the stream, because I want to know if this channel is open to Photoshop tutorials, Illustrator tutorials, After Effects. You know, I've done a lot of that stuff too, and it's honestly just a conversation. So let's read the comments. Where is Semarang and Tu Lungejung? I've never heard of these places, honestly. From Brazil, what's up, guys? Your tutorials are amazing. What is the difference between Photoshop and Illustrator? As explained in the beginning, Photoshop and Illustrator are very similar programs. However, Photoshop and Illustrator are very different programs. So Photoshop, people do a lot with photo manipulation and editing, and it's pixel-based. So pixel-based meaning that when you zoom in, you'll see that an image starts to get blurry until eventually you see a bunch of these little pixels, which make up an image. And granted, you can increase the image quality by changing the pixels per inch, which I currently have at 300, which is like a standard, but it'll always be blurry when you blow it up large. However, Illustrator is vector-based, so that when you zoom in, there actually are no pixels. So I use this a lot when I'm creating stuff for portfolios, work, or anything that I want to print out that needs to have a nice, sharp quality. You'll use Illustrator. And for everyone else, this thing is not actually real. I just had to do this for a class last week. So that is the main difference. Yeah, After Effects is awesome, Joseph. I want to do some more tutorials on it, but I'm just trying to figure out what you guys want. So with that said, I think I might do a tutorial on this in the future, but if the call is there, then I'll definitely do it. But going back to what I said earlier, I honestly just wanted to go live for a little bit so you guys could see the difference, because I asked a question in the community poll, and 8% of you use Adobe Illustrator for creating overlay with text, and 92% of you use Adobe Photoshop. So I can't read that, but keep it up. All right. So if that's it, I think I'm just going to end here, because I really just wanted to get something out there and something different. But I'm currently working on a new tutorial, and it's going to be within Premiere. And I want to focus on audio, because I use a lot of audio in most of my videos. And why are you playing? And not in this one necessarily, but most of the other ones, I'm always overlaying and blending in audio. So I think an advanced audio tutorial would be awesome. I'm also going to be working on a new preset pack strictly focused around audio, because there are so many different audio effects that you can actually incorporate into your video. A lot of the used ones are like high pass and low pass, and I want to create stuff that you can simply click and drag, and it's already keyframed to certain cutoffs, so that whenever you want like a whoosh in, it'll get that sound that you want. So that's something that I'm going to be working on in the next week or two. So I hope to release that to you guys. But all in all, if that's it, I'm going to end this one here. Bro, you should do an Illustrator tutorial. Photoshop, it's easier to my at least. Joseph, I'll be working on some bunch of stuff. If I get a lot of people requesting that, then I definitely will get it out there. But what up, Mohammed from Morocco? All right, guys. Well, I'm going to end that one here. Hopefully you learned something today. If you did, you know what to do. Smash the like button. I'll see you next time.